Hi. So for today, we're still gonna be deep diving into the Marvel shared universe of cartoons from 1966 to 1968, the first MCU. And for today's topic, it's going to be the origin of
Big Smash Incredible Hulk!
That's right! So, as per usual, we'll recap the episode first, and I'll give you some of my super gamma thoughts about everything, and then we'll talk some more about some things about the Hulk and the cartoon and all that stuff after. So, alright, Hulk Smash! So we start off in the desert where Dr. Bruce Banner is spearheading the creation of a gamma bomb. And this bomb is in the testing mode and it's about to be exploded right away. One of Dr. Banner's fellow scientists named Igor, he's like, "Yo man, this bomb is too dangerous, don't blow it up. Instead, why don't you just give me the formula to the bomb? That would be safer." Which is an odd thing to say, but you know, he's somehow got a point. To juxtapose that guy, we have General Ross from the US Army. And he's like,
This isn't going fast enough! Blow it up already! I want to see something blowing up!
So it's like, alright, yeah, let's start the countdown. To which they do. But there's some idiot kid named Rick Jones who happens to be driving in the test blast zone area. Like, what the hell is he doing there? Is he looking for aliens thinking it's Area 51? At any rate, Dr. Banner drives out there to get our young idiot friend out of the blast zone when, blammo, the bomb goes off. Dr. Banner was able to get Rick Jones to a safe area, but Dr. Banner got hit by the blast of the bomb, which, realistically, he should be dead instantly, right? Like the force of the blast should just obliterate him. But no, he's fine. He just got some kind of minor headaches. He's all good to go. Rick Jones is able to get him to the hospital, and all that, so, things are pretty good. But at the hospital, yeah, Bruce isn't feeling so good, and he starts to transform into this green-skinned, dim-witted behemoth. Some army dude calls him the Hulk, and he's like,
Yeah, Hulk, that's a good name for me. I don't know why they sounded like Kermit the Frog there. I guess they're both green, and as we all know, it's not easy being green.
Anywho, so the Hulk is basically brand new, and he's like, what am I doing here? Where do I go? Who am I? So he just instinctively goes back to Dr. Bruce Banner's house because, that's what he knows. He's just gonna go take a shower, take a nap, and just kind of sleep off this gamma radiation. He'll be fine in the morning. But as Hulk and Rick Jones get to Bruce Banner's house, they find that Igor is in the house already, ransacking the place looking for the secret formula to the gamma radiation. So this kind of pisses the Hulk off, that, and Igor shooting at him. So Hulk attacks Igor and almost kills him, and then he also almost attacks Rick. But Bruce Banner gets the better of the beast and transforms back into his human self, saving Rick's life. So that's pretty awesome. Bruce's fancy lady friend, Betty Ross, and the army also show up at Bruce's house, and they're like, yeah, man, the Hulk creature, kind of came through here. Did you see him? Yeah, but Bruce and Rick play it pretty cool. Like,
does it look like he's here? Come on.
So the army's like, yeah, I guess he's right. So, we just lost this massive behemoth. That's not odd or anything. Oh, well, let's go get some drinks.
Meanwhile,
so Igor is in jail. He's found out to be a spy, and luckily for him, he still has his thumbnail transmitter. You heard that correctly. And with that, he transmits the gamma bomb formula overseas to his boss, the Gorgon, somewhere's behind the Iron Curtain. And this Gorgon guy is very much like the Hulk, right? He's huge, he's radiation bombarded, he's strong, kinda hideous, and he's like, holy crap, there's someone like me in the States? That's crazy. I gotta go there and check this out. And so he does. He makes it to America and just luckily happens to be there when Bruce turns into the Hulk while driving with Rick, just out of sheer luck. So the Gorgon shoots the Hulk and Rick Jones with a wheel-draining gun. So basically, this whole story is pretty awesome except for that thumb transmitter and this wheel-draining gun, But now that those things are out of the way, the Hulk and Rick are under Gorgon's spell, basically, and they go on a trip behind the Iron Curtain with the Gorgon. And you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to these guys? Like, it can't be good. They're in enemy hands. Also at this point, the Hulk reverted to Bruce Banner, and Gorgon's like, oh my god, you're that radiation genius. And Gorgon breaks down crying. He's like, you need to help me, man. I'm radiation mutated. Like, I don't want to be like this anymore. I want to be a normal human being again, man. Dr. Banner, man, you gotta help me. And so Bruce does. He uses more radiation to out-radiate the radiation that has already radiated the radiated guy. And boom! The Gorgon turns back into a regular human. He's so thankful that he basically denounces his country's leadership. Is like, nobody else can help me, but this American guy helped me, man. Like, holy crap, right? So what does Gorgie do with, his newfound human body and freedom from radiation? Well, he blows himself up and part of his country, with an atomic bomb so that Banner and Rick can escape as a thank you. That's some pretty hardcore gratitude customs right there, man. And so with that, Bruce and Rick are on a rocket back to the United States to safety, and a portion of their enemy's country got blown up real good like. So yeah, and that is where our fantastic little episode ends. All in all, man, that was actually a really awesome story. That was the thing about Marvel Comics, like right off the bat, man. They told you some really different types of stories in there, man. It was pretty good. So, like a stereotypical comic book story would be like, superhero, has superpowers, supervillain does bad thing, and superhero punches supervillain in the face, saves the day, and throws the villain in jail. Or something to that effect, right? Like, this story was quite a departure from that, actually. For one thing, well, yeah, sure, Hulk shows up and it's really cool to see him, but, Hulk's not the one who saves the day. Like, it was Bruce Banner that actually, did the saving. And the villain really wasn't a villain. It was more of like a tortured soul kind of person, Like, we never knew what the Gorgon was gonna do with the Hulk, if the Hulk never reverted back to Dr. Banner. So when he seen Dr. Banner, he was like, holy crap, you could actually help me out, man. Like, I really hate, how I am right now. And he was so grateful that he denounced his country, and he was the one who actually blew up part of it, that country. So the Hulk was only marginally involved in that whole success. That was pretty cool to see. And the episode was written in the 1960s, right? So yeah, like the old Cold War era. So of course there was a bit of propaganda with the Gorgon being saved by American, saying, our enemy would save us, or this American would save me, but my own people, they won't care, But probably pretty accurate. So this was a pretty promising first episode for the Hulk series, and as cool as it was to see Dr. Banner do a whole lot of things, I'm pretty excited to see the Hulk do a whole bunch of things in future episodes, because that's the whole point. Dr. Banner, smash! So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out, and we'll see what else we can find out with some things behind the scenes. Alright, so we have the Hulk here, but where did he come from? Like, where was this character inspired by? Well, if you listen to legendary Marvel Comics writer Stan Lee, the Hulk was inspired by, and well, I think it's pretty obvious, some classic horror characters. So which would be Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, and also a bit of Frankenstein's monster tossed in there. Pretty sure if you've watched the Hulk, you can figure out how those characters are the inspiration. It is cool to see. However, if you listen to legendary artist Jack Kirby, he says that the Hulk was created based on him seeing this woman tapping into her maternal strengths and being able to lift a car, to save her baby that was trapped underneath. Not quite lift the car above her head, but, lifted part of the car up so she can get to her baby. And he's like, wow, that's pretty amazing. And he realizes we all have these internal strengths, internal rages, internal whatever that we can tap into, whenever we kind of are desperate to need to. So he's like, oh, it'd be really cool to explore that in a character. So there's that explanation. Also, some would say that the Hulk is a ripoff of DC Comics character Solomon Grundy. Grundy debuted in 1944, and he is a big, dumb, gray-skinned beast of a man who likes to just smash and wreck things. And Hulk was originally more gray-skinned, for his skin tone in the original comics, before he got further testing, which kind of turned his skin more green. And well, I guess Grundy was, more of a zombie technically and a villain, so not a complete copy, but there's an argument there anyway. And the Hulk himself was first introduced in the Incredible Hulk #1 from 1962. And it is from this issue that we get to see absolutely everything from this episode. All 3 parts are from this one comic book, right? Like everything. The gamma bomb test, meeting up with Rick Jones on the Gamma Bomb testing ground, an angry General Ross, Igor the Spy, the Gorgon, the trip to behind the Iron Curtain, the Gorgon being cured, and destroying part of his country, all that, and really not really any changes to the story, just a carbon copy. The only really differences is that in the episode, the Gorgon character is called, the Gorgon, I guess, but in the original comic, the character is called the Gargoyle, and not quite so orange, kind of more, pink skin kind of tone. And same thing with the Hulk. His original skin tone, like I said earlier, was gray like it was in the comics, and it was more green in this episode. So pretty easy for the writers of this episode, just, oh yeah, we have the script, I just bought it yesterday for, what was it, 25 cents? So seeing as this cartoon is part of the first Marvel shared universe, we have to compare it to the current Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, we got the old Dr. Bruce Banner. In the cartoon, he's working on a gamma bomb, and when that bomb exploded, it should have killed him pretty instantly, But instead, it gave him transformative gamma powers, so, science. In the MCU, Dr. Bruce Banner is experimenting on making humans immune to gamma radiation in a laboratory when he tries to test out on himself, and the test was part of a government plan to recreate the Captain America Super Soldier Serum, and Bruce didn't really know about that. So that whole operation was the charge of General Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. And General Ross is pretty much the same character all around, He's the man in charge of the gamma operation in whichever fashion, whether it was a gamma bomb or gamma immunity stuff. And he is the father of Betty Ross. She's there, and she is a love interest of, Bruce Banner. So yeah, small world indeed. In the cartoon, Rick Jones is a teenager and a best friend of Bruce Banner, and technically kind of like a sidekick in a way. In the MCU, there is a Rick Jones. We don't see him. He's just only kind of mentioned, and he is a friend and basically like a pen pal to Bruce Banner, after they met at Culver University. So I always do appreciate how the MCU tries to make sure every little kind of character has kind of mentioned with these small little nods. Then we get Soviet spy Igor Drenkov. He does not appear in the MCU. There is a Dreykov in the MCU, and he was part of the Red Room program for the Black Widow assassins and all that, but not the same guy. Pretty close, but no. So in the MCU, there have been two actors to portray Dr. Bruce Banner. In the Incredible Hulk movie, it was Edward Norton, but there were some creative differences, with him and everybody, so he was booted off, and Mark Ruffalo was the Hulk from there on in. In the MCU, there has been a small smattering of actor changes, this one being pretty darn obvious. The other obvious one being Iron Man's best friend, James Rhodes, originally was portrayed by Terrence Howard in Iron Man 1, and then later was portrayed by Don Cheadle, for the rest of the way. So those would be the major actor changes to major characters in the MCU. So out of the 4 major actors who have portrayed a live action Hulk, 2 of them have been in the MCU, like I previously mentioned, with Norton and Ruffalo. They were both preceded by Eric Bana in that wonderful movie from, a little while before. It was interesting. And before that, the Hulk made his live action debut on television with the legendary Lou Ferrigno. He has the distinction of the only Hulk that was not CGI. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. That's the kind of rundown with the Hulk, how all the characters work within this Marvel shared universe, and the same characters work within the MCU. So pretty good stuff. And yeah, so other than that, I guess that's that. Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi, that's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.